بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأصلي وأسلم على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Today we are going to talk about one of the calls, one of the Quran calls to the believers. This call is regarding spending in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We mentioned last 2 weeks and we talk about الصيام يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم, and this ayah also it's in Surah Al-Baqarah. I just chose three ordered ayat about الإنفاق, about spending in the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. الله تعالى يقول في الآية 254, the verse 254, يا أيها الذين آمنوا أنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي يوم لا بيع فيه ولا خلة ولا شفاعة والكافرون هم الظالمون. And as we know, as Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, one of the companions, when he said, whenever you hear this ayah, this call from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu fa'ar'iha sam'ak, you should pay attention what's coming after that call. Either something good you will be asked to do, or something not good you will be asked to avoid. And here, يا أيها الذين آمنوا أنفقوا مما رزقناكم. So all believers spend from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided you. Before there is no bay'ah basically. What will happen during bay'ah, the process of bay'ah, trading, sale, selling, buying, it's bargaining. I mean, you want to pay less to get better product, or you want to buy better product by paying less money. So there is some bargaining. So here at the day of Qiyamah, Allah said, spend now, give for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now, before a day will come. There is no trading, there is no selling, there is no buying, there is no bargaining, there is nothing like that. And also there is no khulla. Al khulla is the best friendship. Means يوم يفر المرء من أخيه وأمه وأبيه وصاحبته وبنيه. That day there is no, I mean, friendship going to help you out. Uh, that what going to help you out is your good deeds. ولا خلة ولا شفاعة. And there is no intercession. Nobody will intercede for you. And here العلماء they said هذا عموم مخصوص. الخلة والشفاعة عموما is a general statement but specified with the other ayat and other ahadith, because there is shafa'a, there is intercession. لا يشفعون إلا بإذنه, لا يشفع أحد إلا بإذن الله تعالى. There is nobody will intercede unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give permission for that. And the best intercessor is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who will be interceding for the whole mankind, the whole humanity. So here is the call. العلماء they said هذا الأمر يفيد, هذا الأمر for the mandatory giving and also for the volunteering giving. It means cover both ways. Both zakat is an obligation. Is an obligation, is one of the pillars of Islam. Zakat al-fitr also an obligation. So here is covering both ways. So anfiq from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, asks you to give, your zakat, al-mal, the money zakat, or zakat al-fitr, and also give beside that. في المال صدقة غير الزكاة غير الفرد. In your wealth, there is another way of giving more than what's required, basically, what's required of zakat or zakat al-fitr. So that's the first call about giving. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, at the end, He concluded the ayah by saying, what والكافرون هم الظالمون. Ata, as several scholars they mention, rahimahullah, he said, الحمد لله الذي قال والكافرون هم الظالمون ولم يقل والظالمون هم الكافرون. Why? Because a person who doesn't give, who doesn't spend, even it's required, for him to pay zakat, and he doesn't pay zakat. Many people, they don't pay zakat. If the ayah ended with وَالظَّالِمُونَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ, means this person is a disbeliever. That's a big trouble, okay? But here he said وَالْكَافِرُونَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. And here he mentioned الْكَافِرُونَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. The next ayah also, he connect giving for fame and for showing off and for telling people I'm a generous person, also with al-kufr. Look at the ayah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يقول في الآية, the next ayah, 264 سورة البقرة: يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تبطلوا صدقاتكم بالمن والأذى. لا تبطلوا صدقاتكم بالمن والأذى كالذي ينفق ماله رئاء الناس ولا يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر فمثله كمثل صفوان عليه تراب فأصابه وابل فتركه صلدا لا يقدرون على شيء مما كسبوا والله لا يهدي القوم الكافرين. لا يهدي القوم الكافرين. So here the first ayah is calling us to give, ordering us to give في سبيل الله. It's the month of giving, the month of Ramadan. As Aisha radiallahu anha said, كان صلى الله عليه وسلم أكرم الناس أجود الناس من الجود, the most generous. Him صلى الله عليه وسلم, he is the most generous. وأجود ما يكون في رمضان, and he gets more generous in the month of Ramadan. حين يلقاه جبريل يدارسه القرآن فكان كالريح المرسلة. When Jibril came down to recite with him and to review with him the Quran, he turned to be like a wind, which brings rain and bring barakah, bring blessing to the human being and to the all creatures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in this ayah also, يا أيها الذين آمنوا, all believers, what? لا تبطلوا صدقاتكم بالمن والأذى. Don't make your charity worthless. By what? بالمن والأذى, two things. First, by المن. المن, what does mean man? To say, to announce, to tell people, to tell about your generosity. I'm so generous. I'm giving this and that and that. And you try to show off of what you are giving. This is one. Means أنك أبطلت, you are just, you made what you paid nothing, worthless, no benefit of what you gave already. It's not going to benefit you anyway. والأذى, and also by injury of recipient's feeling. Don't injure the recipient's feeling. If you give somebody, don't go and injure his feeling and say, yeah, if me, not me, you have no food for tonight. If not me, you have nothing to wear. If not, man, you are not, what you have, it's not yours, by the way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He talked two ways. Sometimes, أنفقوا مما جعلناكم مستخلفين فيه. He say, spend from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you responsibility to take care of. It's Allah's wealth. So another ayah also, He said, مما مما رزقناكم, that's your rizq. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to you and you own it. So here, originally, the main owner of the whole world is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So whatever we have is just a gift from Him subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He loves us to give it away too. So make sure when you give it away, never try to show off of what you are giving, and also never injure any person's feeling about giving that. يروى في الحديث أعتقد أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ذكر عن إبراهيم. He mentioned about Ibrahim عليه السلام. One day a man came and asked for a meal, for a food, for a dinner. And he asked him, are you a believer? He said, no, I'm not a believer. So he said, there is no food with me here. So he left. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blamed Ibrahim and he said, you know how all this man, he's over 70 years old. I have been giving him over and over and over. I never give up giving him. And now he asked you just for one time. and you ask him, what's your deen, what's your religion, to give him, it doesn't work. Even he didn't, I mean, injure him, but it's a way of injuring human feeling also. That's how, if you do that, you your giving is worthless. So make sure to have your intention first. And when we give for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not for our fame, not also to injure somebody's feeling and to show him he is low than the giver. And he said, كَالَّذِي يُنْفِقُ مَالَهُ رِئَاءَ النَّاسِ. This kind of person who gives his wealth, who gives his charity just to show off or to injure people's feeling, his parable like this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala كمثل فمثله كمثل صفوان عليه تراب, is like a hard barren rock, uh, with a very, very small, tiny layer of soil on it. So it looks like, wow, this is a good land to make to plant like whatever you want to do there. But Allah said it's just a really hard, barren rock. يعني حجر صلت لا ينبت. Okay. فأصابه وابل فتركه صلدا. So it looks to you from far away, wow, that is a good one. Maybe little plants growing on, but doesn't grow a good product at all. So فأصابه وابل, and heavy rain came down and really cleaned that rock, and it turned to be like really clear, hard rock. There is no soil left on it. So that's how this nafaqa, this giving, it doesn't help the giver, doesn't give help the donor if he does it not really for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said, لا يقدرون على شيء مما كسبوا, means those who give that in that way, in the wrong way of giving, that giving which is kasb, which is let's say that's what they earn, it's not going to help them. There is no hasanat, no good deeds will be recorded for them. والله لا يهدي القوم الكافرين. Allah is not going to guide those who are disbelievers. Here it tells you a believer supposed not to give his money in showing off nor in hurting people's feeling. And the next ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يا أيها التوجيه آخر. So the first one to give في سبيل الله, and the second one to give not by showing off or hurting somebody. They mention a story about Ali bin Zayn al-Abidin radiyallahu anhu rahimah, Hafid is the grandson of Ali bin Abi Talib radiyallahu anhu. He was so great person in Medina. He used to feed several orphans and widows in Medina, and he used to carry the food on his back every night, late night, so nobody can notice. So I think they mentioned like 100 families or more. He spent for them every night. He carried the food on his back and he dropped it by their doors. And then nobody knew who is giving them this food. Nobody knew about that till he died. When he died, that charity, that sadaqah stopped. Those families didn't receive anything. So they realized he was the one who used to give them. And nowadays, it's really known now in the world. Many people, when they try to go to give something, they make a video of the person, the recipient. It's not helping. It's not good. You have to keep that person honor, man. Don't show him he is in need for your dollars or for your charity or for your giving. Give it secretly is better. ورجل تصدق بصدقة حتى لا تعلم شماله ما أنفقت يمينه. And especially at this time of people, they need to be, I mean, covered from nobody knows about them. They are in need, especially some people, they don't want to show their need to anybody. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لا يسألون الناس إلحافا يحسبهم الجاهل أغنياء من التعفف. Those are the real needy people you need to help and to get more reward. So giving, make sure to give it intention is the most important to purify for what I'm giving that. Okay. The third ayah, the third recommendation or commandment for giving, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يقول في سورة البقرة, these three ayats about الإنفاق. There are more ayats related to those, but we just focus on the call. يا أيها الذين آمنوا أنفقوا من طيبات ما كسبتم ومما أخرجنا لكم من الأرض ولا تيمموا الخبيث منه تنفقون ولستم بآخذيه إلا أن تغمضوا فيه واعلموا أن الله غني حميد. Then he said, الشيطان يعدكم الفقر ويأمركم بالفحشاء والله يعدكم مغفرة منه وفضلا والله واسع عليم. So, يا أيها الذين آمنوا, again, the third ayah about giving, أنفقوا من طيبات ما كسبتم. The first أنفقوا مما رزقناكم, give from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided you. Second, don't make your giving or charity worthless. And the third, أنفقوا من طيبات ما كسبتم. All believers, give from the best quality product that you have, that you got, not from the worst that you don't like even. ولا تيم ومما أخرجنا لكم من الأرض مما كسبتم, from what you earn and from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you from the land. Okay, the product, whatever product that you gain from the land, from your agriculture. ولا تيمموا الخبيث منه تنفقون means التيمم ما تقصد, يعني don't intend, don't pick الخبيث يعني the bad products. Don't try, because that's not for you. You know what? Sometimes it happen. Sometimes some centers, they ask for help, for donation, for clothing. That's why if some centers, social services, they ask for old clothes, let's say, just bring decent clothes, decent food. Uh, we have, let's say, sometimes we get like drive food drive, and some people, they just bring expired food. What are you thinking about, man? Why you bring expired food? It's not allowed for you to distribute it. Or like really, really, really very, very bad clothes. No. Look, Aisha radiallahu anha, what she used to do. She used to do, when she got a dinar, like let's say a dinar, she took it, and she put in her hand, she clean it, uh, and she apply scent or perfume to that before she give it to al-faqir, before she give it to the needy person. They said, why you do that? She said, إنه يقع في يد الله قبل أن يقع في يد الفقير. This will be going to the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first, before to the hands of faqir. It's a metaphor. I mean, not physically to the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but that the first. She want that to be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I mean, in her action, in her giving, her charity. He said, وَلَا تَيَمَّمُوا الْخَبِيثَ مِنْهُ تُنْفِقُونَ. المفسرون, they said, at the time of the Sahaba in Medina, people, most of them are what we call, they have their farms, they have palm trees, and the time when the dates is, I mean, is good to distribute. Some of them, they bring their branches and they just hang it in the masjid for those needy people, Ahl al-Sufa, because we have Ahl al-Sufa like Abu Hurairah, he was very poor, and many Sahaba, they were poor, they were not rich, they don't have even a home to stay. They stay in the masjid. Sufa, it's still till now in the back of the room of the Prophet ﷺ in the Masjid Nabawi. A Sufa, many people, they stay there also. A Sufa, and they talk about the Sufa min al-Safa'i or min al-Sufa is different, but it's still there. A Sufa, if you go to the Medina, you check, that's where those poor Sahaba, they stay, and the others, they bring dates, just a donation, a gift, sadaqah to eat. Some of them, they bring good one. Uh, the dates of Medina, they have different qualities. Some of them, wow, it's so big, the caliber is so huge and so tasty. And some of them, يعني الخشف, they said, أخشفا وسوء كيلة. أخشفا وسوء كيلة. It means الخشف is this very dry, very, يعني, not good quality, the bad quality of dates. They bring them there and they put them there. He said, why you do that? I mean, that's one of the, let's say, stories happened during the time of some people at the time of the Sahaba. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told them, when you spend, when you give the best that you have. Give the best from the best that you have. And he said, وَلَسْتُمْ بِآخِذِهِ إِلَّا أَن تُغْمِضُوا فِيهِ. Even for you, if somebody give it to you, you are not going to take it. Unless maybe they said تغمض من إغماض العين, or you don't pay attention, you don't care. Okay? So if you close your eyes, you could pick anything. But if you open, you will check which is good, which is bad. That's why when people they go and pick and they buy stuff, they pick which one is better. This is better apple, this is better orange, and they pick the best. That's how we choose. But that's why he said, as you like what you like for yourself, you should like it also for those people. And the best thing in this, what Aisha said. I mean, what Aisha radiallahu anha used to do, radiallahu anha, we mentioned that. واعلموا أن الله غني حميد. Allah the most sufficient and the richest. So he doesn't need you, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he doesn't need what we do. But what we do is for us. Is for us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's messenger said, when a person gives sadaqah, Allah yurabbiha lahu kama yurabbi ahadukum falwa. Till it become like Jabal Uhud. He said, when you give sadaqah, even a small amount, especially these days, especially in here, our community, we are going to have our fundraising for the masjid this Sunday, tomorrow at 6 p.m. Join us virtually through the Facebook and YouTube. So do whatever you can. I know some different communities here, mashallah, they are doing so great job. Some of them, they call me, and let's say the Togo community, the Moroccan community, the Senegali community. I mean, who else? A lot. We have different communities in the community, mashallah. We have over 30 nationalities here. So it's great to get the leader of that community together and collect your donations for the masjid. And one of you, I mean the leader, we just donated to the masjid, and all of you, inshallah, will get rewarded for that. The joint effort, it's so powerful. So when we extend the to the biggest number, we give even less amount, the amount will be better. The Prophet ﷺ here said, سبق دينار ألف دينار. 1 dinar is more than 1,000 dinar. He said, what do you mean by that? 1 dinar is better than 1,000 dinar. Why? Because a person, he may have just 1 dinar or 2 dinars, and he give two, half means 50%. It's very generous. And a person who has maybe millions, and he gives just elf, it's nothing if you compare it to the person who has 2 dinars and he spent half of his property. So try to do your best. We have it online. It's available right now. You could do it anytime. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you all. And the next ayah, to complete this ayah, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, الشيطان يعدكم الفقر ويأمركم بالفحشاء والله يعدكم مغفرة منه وفضلا والله واسع عليم. Here, why many people they scared, they are afraid to give? Why? Because first, the shaitan ya'id threatens you of poverty. Man, if you give, we are in time of corona now. You don't know if you may lose your job. The country will, a lot of troubles will happen, and it bring you a lot of what we call negative thought, negative proposition, I mean, negative ideas, okay, for you to think about in the future. No, just be positive. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala امتحن الناس, tested human being at this time by this virus. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not, I'm sure, 100%, بإذن الله, will not stay forever. It just stay for a while. short time بإذن and will recover. Everybody will go back to his work, to his normal life. I know some people they passed away, some people they got sick. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive those who, who died, and give cure to those who are sick. And those who are still alive and we have no problems, we should be more thankful and grateful for what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us: health, money, wealth, and families. Alhamdulillah, we are kings. If you compare yourself, a person who live in an apartment now, believe me, in an apartment with the AC, with the internet, with the electricity, with everything now, the food, you are living a better life than the kings in the past. They don't have this AC, they don't have the heater in the winter, they don't have this kind of internet to connect. We have more blessing at this time, but we need to be more thankful. When we be thankful and grateful, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us more. لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. Allah said, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ وَلَإِن كَفَرْتُمْ إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. So he said here, الشيطان يعدكم الفقر. الشيطان threatens you of poverty, and he doesn't want you to give. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يقول والله يعدكم مغفرة منه وفضلا. Allah promises you maghfirah, forgiveness. When you give, you will get forgiven. والمؤمن تحت لواء صدقته يوم القيامة. Imagine at the day of Qiyamah, one of the ways for a person to be protected from the heat of the sun, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring the sun closer to us, as close as a mile. A mile could be this mile, the distance on the road, which is really, really close. And the Prophet ﷺ said, in that horrible state, people they swim and sink in their sweat. And the sweating is based or according to their deeds. As much as a person has worse deeds, as much as he sinks in his sweat. But that day, there are special categories of people, special people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had chosen them to be under the shade, not the shade of the building, not the shade of tree, not the shade of umbrella. There is no umbrella. If you go to Hajj in a very hot season, everybody has white umbrella to protect you from the sun heat. But at the day, قال صلى الله عليه وسلم سبعة يظلهم الله في ظله يوم لا ظل إلا ظله. Seven will be under the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala throne, Arsh Allah, where there is no shade but his shade, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Among them, ورجل أنفق نفقة بيمينه حتى لا تعلم شماله. Imagine, we talk about don't show off. Just إن تبدوا الصدقات فنعم ما هي وإن تخفوها وتؤتوها الفقراء فهو خير لكم. If you spend openly, that's okay, as long as make sure don't ruin your intention, don't make your charity worthless. Okay, so you could do openly and secretly, but if you go to give it secretly, is better for the heart, your heart, and for the heart also of the recipient. Allahu ya'idukum maghfiratan minhu fadla. Allah promised us to forgive us, especially at this month of Ramadan. Wa fadlan will give you more. Allah will give the giver more. Allahumma zid munfiqan khalafa. Every day, there is an angel calling, Allahumma zid munfiqan khalafan. Or Allah increase the one who gives more and more. ومثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل. آية before في كل سنبلة 100 حبة والله يضاعف لمن يشاء. Is the parable of giving في سبيل الله is like a person, like a seed of, let's say, a seed of the corn. When you plant it and it gives you 7 ears, okay, 7 سنابل, 7. And in each ear of the corn, there are 100 grains. How many? 7 times 100, 700. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يضاعف لمن يشاء. عبدي أنفق عليك. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يوفقنا لحسن الإيمان به والتوكل عليه. هو ولي ذلك والقادر عليه. اللهم زدنا ولا تنقصنا، اللهم ارحمنا وتب علينا يا كريم، ووفقنا لما تحب وترضى. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. في أمان الله.